Hello again, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction. It is for Made in Abyss. It is episode 9, and we are still going strong and going further down into the abyss. As always, I hope you like my reactions, so you should be aware that Made in Abyss is one that's not so easy to upload on YouTube. So please go down into my description links, and there is in the description something where you can copy it out, put it into your whatever you're using, Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, and remove the circumflex dot parts, add dots in it, and then press enter. And you will find my reaction. Once you've watched it, please come back and hear me out what I think about this episode, what I thought happened, if there are some hints for things in the future, and especially what I liked or did not like. And I try to always make some kind of predictions what's happening in the next episode, although I'm not always right. So, if you want to, watch it, come back. For those of you who have come back, welcome back. So, as I already said, kind of a more neither slow episode, but okay, very fine. We met an old friend of ours from episode 1. So we met the splitjaw again. And some interesting creatures who live inside the walls, so some kind of flat rabbits. First time I thought like flat cats, but it's more like flat rabbits, definitely. And they like as a fruit it is. I tried to write it down, and I'm pretty sure I have it. Well, however, they try to get a specific fruit, which is why there's another creature living who has like a mouth on top of himself, which smells of this fruit, which is clever. And I mean, if you look in nature, stuff like that exists. It is not something people make up. There are animals and plants who work like that, who work with traps, and well, in this case, someone else fell to it because she was very, very hungry. So, well, as I already said before, how is it she's not having any food with her? So they are going down into layer 3. And this was the beginning. It was not like days in. It was the beginning of their journey down. I really thought they would have taken some food with them from Ozen and the others. It's strange that they didn't get any. So, not sure about that one, but maybe there is 1 or 2 days passed already and they made their way a little bit longer. Maybe that's it. But except from that, there was a little bit a weak point here. But then, yeah, well, they're still kids, so she's hungry, so she's going on. I can understand that. It would have been wiser to just wait at this place. And because it was secure, at least it seemed. And she should have just waited the 2 hours for Rek to wake up again, so that they can walk together. He can protect her, and they are stronger together, there's no question. She learned that today as well. So, although she learned it more about her inner strength, that she's able to overcome the abyss effects, which was very harsh, a hallucination, which tries you to give up, to just... It's okay, you don't have to do it anymore, That's the effect. They didn't show it, but I'm pretty sure in the moment when she agreed to her mother, to the hallucination of her mother, that she either just stood and didn't move anymore, or she even like sat down or anything. So people who are alone and who fall for the hallucination are very likely to just sit in a corner and possibly just die out of hunger and thirst, I guess, or something eating them because they're not moving. That's a harsh thing. That's a really problematic thing. That's why you shouldn't go alone. It shows you even more how strong the white whistles are that often go alone. So I guess she would have kicked out of it due to the fact that Rek would have woken someone later on and would have woken her up as well. But she kicked out of this hallucination because she realized that Rek was gone. And she was not willing to let him stay alone. And was not only that, it was like I would never have had let him alone. So this was a moment she realized something is wrong, and that's why she kicked out of this effect. And I like it. That's a cool thing. So the third layer is more neither just a very, very deep going hole where these Madokajaks live. Those flying mantas, I think. They look a little bit like manta rays. Definitely carnivores, as it seems, and they eat the little poor rabbits. But I'm pretty sure they would eat those two as well. So it's good that they try to evade it. So they had the benefit that there are like additional holes, really missing the word sinks, where they could go down, so that they don't have to go down in the middle one, where all those Madokajaks are. Madokajaks, that's it. Which helps a lot. I can only guess it is natural. Maybe it is like eaten or created by the rabbits. I mean, they live in the wall, so maybe it's them who did that, or it's something natural coming along. Which brings me to the ship. So there's a ship in the middle of this wall. I mean, I don't know how old this abyss is. It was said that it was discovered in the time when they went around the world and they discovered this island with the abyss in the middle. Seeing that the ship is stuck in the middle, there are two options that might be. Option one is the abyss was created or started after this ship was already either sunken in the water, so it was on the bottom of the ocean, and then when the abyss was created, it was simply made part of the abyss, which would be logical. But the problem there is, by the way that this ship looked, it didn't look like a relic ship. It looked like a normal ship of possibly those people. So that would mean that the abyss is very, very young compared to what the relics are. So like just some 100 years possibly. Or option two, it is a ship that someone used to go down before, like, I don't know, like an airship. So that it had like a balloon on top, or some kind of relic installed so that the ship can float down, which would be a clever idea to pass the third layer. If you have like a ship, you can put cannons on it and you have crew. You can defend against the things in the air, and you can easily fly or float down. So that's the second option, and due to whatever, it then was sucked into the wall. Both options, I think, are possible. But I'm not sure if we will ever hear about what the reasons is, but it's nice to have it there. It's a cool thing. And it was a lair for some of those mantas. So, well, tough luck walking into a lair. But the main enemy here was the Crimson Splitjaw, and it's kind of I think it's kind of funny that it is the same Crimson Splitjaw that they met in episode 1. So it's, howsoever, one that goes further up, because normally it's living below layer 3, as Riko said. So even that it was in layer 1, where she was having her digging in the first episode, was absolutely abnormal and a huge problem for everyone there, I guess. Because there are kids, teenagers and so on digging, learning how to do it. And if there's one of those huge monsters coming along, I mean, it nearly swallowed one of her friends. So it's a dangerous thing. It came to Rek and Riko after they shot. I am not sure, but it might very well be that it recognized the shot because it was hit by it, It was only wounded, but it's possibly like, it's you again, I will get you, and went to it. And so it got hit again, this time by the pickaxe, which is an interesting concept, this weapon. I thought the first time when it was like a pickaxe, but it has black powder in it. I was like, so it's also a gun? So like in Ruby, you know, it's a melee weapon, but you can shoot with it as well. Or what do you mean by that? So right now there, it is instead a pickaxe where you hit someone and then it causes an explosion. Which is cool. So you, being a pickaxe, you really dig deep into the meat of the enemy or the flesh, depending on what you are fighting against. And then you cause an explosion which goes possibly into the already open wound, which causes even more damage. Interesting. I'm not sure how this should work, but that's not so important, I think, in such a case here. It reminds me a little bit of, if some of you know the Fallout universe, of the superpower sledgehammer that is there. But there the idea is that it gets propelled by the energy cell or explosions. So they had like a crude version of that one, which was like in the end a rocket. Sorry, once again, a rocket on the one side of the hammer. So when you swing it, the rocket goes boom, and the hammer velocity improves a lot. So it hits like a rocket, which is totally stupid and wouldn't really work, but it is funny as hell. So that's what it reminded me of a little bit. But here is the effect, not to improve the impact. It is for once the impact has happened, then cause more damage, and it worked. I mean, the splitjaw really fell down, a little bit burning, but I'm somehow sure that we will meet again. So I guess we will have to get a name for him. Seeing that he died the second time, I will call him Kenny. So Kenny's the splitjaw is going down, and I'm pretty sure we will meet him again. Maybe not the next episode, but a little bit later. So that's one of my predictions. We will meet Kenny again. So that's one thing. Let me think. So right now we're close to the Goblet of Giants. I wrote some stuff down about it, but I'm not sure anymore. I remember that there was a guard there as well, a named one. I think it is one of the white whistles in this case. I could check in this very long lists of mine, because I tend to write down what I think about episodes. But that will take too much time now. So I remember there was someone like, I think Red, something with Red Prince, not sure. So I'm pretty sure we will meet him or her or it, whatever it is. They're just making food right now, which is good to know. Maybe it will be a little bit more, so they have something in store for the journey. Going back to the start, you know. Let's just check if I forgot something. Matagame, digging, rabbits. Nah, well, I think it's fine. I think that's more or neither everything in this episode. There's a lot more in the question. But it was a nice one. I like that they did one layer very fast, because it was an interesting layer with a lot of life in, but it was not an important one, to say so. But what I really like about this series, and you can see it in this episode again, is that every layer has its very own life, and that is so cleverly done. So this is its own world, each layer, and this is one episode for one layer, and you can already see how it is working. So there are the flying beasts who have their lairs at the sides, growing up their children, I guess. They eat the small rabbits and everything that falls up from top, and may be hunting on top or bottom layers of theirs. The rabbits in the wall are eating fungus or other food, which is growing inside of the walls as well. And there's even some trap creatures who eat the rabbits as well. So it's all very much evolving around those rabbits and their lifespan, which makes sense and it works. That's nice, neat, and clever. I like that. So, well, that's it for this time. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked my discussion, as always. And if you want to see the next episode, you can already go over to my Patreon. If you want to comment, you're always welcome, because I like to hear your thoughts about it. I mean, I had some theories I threw in this time about the ship as example. What do you think about that? Got any other ideas? If it's coming in later, please don't spoil me. Has Kenny another name and I just gave him the wrong one? Inform me, please. So, that's it for this time. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.